So we know that there are 360 degrees in a whole turn, and we know that angles between 0 degrees and 89 degrees are called acute angles. Now when we get to 90 degrees exactly, we have a right angle, but anything more than 90 degrees, even if it's 91, 92 degrees, is an obtuse angle. And we've still got obtuse angles as we go all the way around until we get to 180 degrees, which is a straight line or straight angle. Then if we go beyond 180 degrees, so the angle is shown by the curved line here, we go all the way around and these are all reflex angles, and then when we go all the way around to 360, we've completed a whole turn. Now we also need to understand complementary angles. So here you can see you've got a right angle, and often the right angle is shown as a square, so you can just about see that orange square. But if you've got two different angles within a right angle, you've got complementary angles, and that means you've got angles that add up to 90 degrees. So often exam style questions, they won't give you the size of one of these angles, but they give you the other. But if you know it's on a right angle and you know that one of them is 60, you can do 90 take away 60, and that will give you angle B, which is 30. So complementary angles always add up to 90 degrees. So for example, 41 plus 49 adds up to 90. 30 and 60 adds up to 90. 26 and 64 add up to 90, and so on. Now what they sometimes do is they make things more confusing by giving you something like this. They might say this angle is 20, this angle is 30, and they might ask you to choose the other one, to find the other angle. But again, as long as you know that they're going to add up to 90, if they've given you 20 and they've given you 30 and it's angles on a right angle, you can do 90, take away 30, take away 20, and that will give you your missing angle, which is 40. So they always add up to 90 degrees if they're on a right angle. Now, as well as complementary angles, we also need to know supplementary angles. Now, these are angles on a straight line, and as we know, a straight line is 180 degrees, so all angles which are supplementary will add to make 180. So 100 plus 80 is 180, 120 plus 60 is 180, and so on. So if they've given you an angle, so perhaps they've given you this angle is 50 degrees, can you work out angle B? Well, if you spot that it's on a straight line, you know all you need to do is 180, take away 50, and that will give you angle B, 130. And sometimes, like they did with complementary angles, they make things more difficult for you. So what they might say is if this angle, they might say if this angle is 50, they might say, sorry, if this angle is 50, this angle is 60, can you calculate the size of this angle here? Or if you know 50 plus 60 is 110, 180 take away 110 is 70, then you'll need to know, then you'll be able to work out that angle C is 70 degrees. We also need to know angles on a point, or angles around a whole turn. So this looks very confusing. Let's simplify it a little bit. So we know if we've just got a point and we need to work out the other point, then we know that it's a whole turn, so they will need to add up to 360. So they might tell you this is 280 degrees. Can you work out angle A? Well, if you remember that a whole turn is 360, you can subtract 280 from 360, and that will give you your angle. Again, they make things more difficult. They give you questions like this. They say if this angle is 30 and this angle is 170, can you calculate angle C? Well, here you'd add up 170 and 30 to get 200, and then you'd take it away from 360 to find angle C, and that would give you 160. And they can make things more confusing as well, but as long as you remember you're adding to make 360, you'll be able to work out any missing angles on a whole turn. The other thing we need to know is intersecting angles. So when you have two lines crossing each other, you seem to have 4 angles, but you can see the values of the opposite sides are always the same. So here, if you know that this angle is 122 and you have lines crossing, you know that the angle opposite is also 122. Or if you know that this angle is 58 and you have lines crossing, you know that the angle opposite is always the same.